Yo, 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 welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I'm your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Tuesday night, live from Los Angeles, California. Man, that Christmas beat is fire, y'all. That one is fire, man. That one is fire. I didn't get that one loaded up until late in the season, late in the holiday season, holiday spirit last year. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to kick that one off like Thanksgiving weekend. So the last show I kicked it off with, kept it going on this one. So get used to hearing that little Christmas bounce song there, line, all the way up through the holiday season. So speaking of holiday season, hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving with their families. Hope everyone's enjoying their week. And we are here to talk some Los Angeles Dodgers baseball because we may be getting very, very close. Very, very, or as Elmer Fudd would say, very, very close to getting pretty excited about some Dodger moves for Dodger baseball in 2026, man. Dodgers been kind of chilling, laying low. They got some of their, their DFAs, their options picked up. They took care of some house cleaning early on in the offseason after winning the World Series, and they kind of been just a little bit crickets, and I don't know what button that is. Yeah, there we go. Switch these buttons up. So a little bit crickets in the offseason, but you know what? There hasn't been a ton of moves. There hasn't been a lot going on, and the Dodgers are sitting back, kind of waiting. The Devin Williams domino was a big one to fall, depending on what that triggers. Is that him signing to set up for Edwin Diaz, or is he taking the closing role from Edwin Diaz because Edwin Diaz is taking his talents elsewhere? So we're going to touch on that. A lot of people are asking about that. A lot of people are wondering about that. Deservingly so. He is, arguably the best closer in the game. I don't think anyone would have him outside their top three. Three would be a stretch. He's probably the top guy in baseball right now when it comes to closing. And the Dodgers don't have anything like that. Even Tanner Scott, when he was at his peak, at his best, he was always like a premier setup guy. San Diego used him as a setup guy. The guys used him like 7, 8, whatever inning, go when that the heart of the lineup came up prior to the ninth. They need that shut it down closer in the ninth inning on a routine basis. But for a team that hasn't really been a team that has settled on a legitimate, steady closer. So for quite some time now, really since Kenley Jansen. So Edwin Diaz is not only possible. Edwin Diaz is not only a guy on the Dodgers radar. Edwin Diaz is not just a top free agent that the Dodgers are having conversations with. Edwin Diaz is a legitimate possibility to join the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I don't think so. I just felt like if it came down to money, Steve Cohen was just not going to be outbid. He was going to pay far past what any other team would feel comfortable in doing, or would be considered reasonable or realistic or not crazy. But it's starting to. And I'm not saying I'm all the way there yet. I'm saying it's starting to feel. It's starting to give vibes. It's starting to kind of seem like the Mets just may not be in love with the terms that Edwin Diaz wants. Now, this does not mean that the Dodgers are going to love those terms, and it does not mean that the Dodgers may meet those terms. What it does mean is, and I talked about this on my last video, the Dodgers just sit back and wait for people to get stupid. They sit back and wait for teams to make mistakes. They sit back and wait for teams to disrespect a player or have a disagreement with an agent or whatever it may be. They sit back and they wait. They sat back and waited for Boston to mess up the Mookie situation. They sat back and waited for Atlanta to mess up the Freddie situation. They have sat back and waited for Shohei Ohtani to realize there was no past, no present, and no future in Anaheim. And they sat back and wait for Roki Sasaki to post early and young for them to get him. And now the Dodgers are sitting here waiting on December 2nd, 2025, for the Mets to fumble the bag on Edwin Diaz, and they will scoop down and pick up that fumbled ball and run it back like they did all those other guys. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say the Dodgers are going to do 5 years, $100 million. No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just not saying they are. Now, if that's what he wants for the Mets, and the Mets don't give him that, Now, all things being considered, then, if you're not going to pay the most, and the Dodgers are in the area, let's say he wants 5 years, 100 mil. Let's just say that's a number or a targeted out there. Let's just throw it out there. 5 years, 100 mil. Mets aren't offering it. Yankees aren't offering it. Toronto's not offering it. Dodgers aren't offering it. Let's just say that's the realm. Maybe someone gets to it. That's the realm, let's say, okay? And all of a sudden, it's like, okay, now the Mets are like, look, we're not going to bid against ourselves. If you had that deal, you'd have took it already. So we're going to go 3 years, club option, $60 to $80 million. He's probably going to want 4 years guaranteed. If you're not going to give me 5, okay, I'll come off 5, but I want 4. I don't see Diaz taking a 2-year deal at crazy money. Like, I don't see him going like, okay, I'm going to go 2 years, 2 years, 75 mil. Sorry, not 2 years, 75, 2 year, 50 mil. I don't see him doing that, right? Now, could he? Yeah, but this is where the door starts to open for the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is where the door starts to open, all right? Now, if the Mets come in and say, okay, look, we'll do 3-4 years, and he's like, I want 4. They go back and forth. The Dodgers come in right off top, 4 years. There's going to be some deferrals in there. How are we going to make this work? And if you're not going to get the 5 years, if you're not going to get the 5, and all things being equal, look, we got to give up they hit you with a qualifying offer, my guy. We're going to have to pay for that. We're going to lose draft capital. We're going to have to, that's going to be more than just paying you, which isn't his problem. But they're like, the Dodgers typically do not do that. The fact that they're even considering this and even willing to do it should show Diaz the level of commitment that they have in him. Now, if it's 4 years and it's the Dodgers, the Mets, I still don't think the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Blue Jays, all on 4 years, and it comes down to who's paying the most, then things get interesting. But I think whoever offers the 5th year gets him. This is similar to Freddie Freeman. Whoever offered that 6th year got him. Dodgers did, they got him. Do the Dodgers go, okay, look, we'll give you 5 years, but we're not going to give you 100 mil. We're not going to give you 100 mil. We'll front load it. Maybe the first 3 years are crazy heavy, and then the final 2 years falls off a little bit. What about that? The Dodgers can get creative. They can do the gymnastics. They can get a little funky with the calculus here and make it work. And I think the Dodgers have put themselves into position here, just sitting back, waiting for teams to get stupid, waiting for teams to get goofy, waiting for players and agents to get impatient. And they're right there again, knocking on the free agent's door, while the home team, the incumbent team, fumbles the bag once again. A la Boston, a la Atlanta. These guys, a la the Oakland A's with Max Muncy, St. Louis Cardinals with Edmund, all those teams with Teoscar. All these teams fumbled the bag. Now, there's also a flip side to this coin, because I like to do that too. I like to be all over the place sometimes, because I think what the Dodgers have done, it's, they say it's a copycat league. They try to build teams the same way, rosters the same way. We could be looking at a situation where organizations and teams are really, really trying to copy that Dodger blueprint, really, really trying to copy it. Now, you can try to copy it. You can try to duplicate it, but you might not be able to replicate it because you don't have the guys that the Dodgers have. Now, Cohen's got money. A lot of these teams got money, but they don't have an Andrew Friedman. They don't have that organization in there. They don't have them. They just don't have them. And you could kind of take the roadmap. You can try to go down the path of what they've done. But if you don't got the guys, then you're probably not going to get the results. But what I'm talking about this is the whole can't beat them, join them thing. I did a video on this recently. And I'm not talking about players coming to the Dodgers. If you can't beat them, join them. I'm not talking about, the joke that Glasnow and Snell had. I'm talking about organizations be like, look, we can't beat them just spending to spend. We can't beat them just throwing money out there. We can't beat them trying to outspend them. We have to outsmart them, which is still going to be difficult. And then we have to hope that translates to the field. So you got someone like Toronto out here going like, okay, we're going to spend what we're going to spend on our guy. Right? Dylan Cease is a guy that they've been trying to get for a long time, just like the Dodgers and Blake Snell. The Dodgers were after Blake Snell for years. They finally got him. They finally got him in free agency because other teams were stupid. Right? Tampa Bay was stupid. San Diego was stupid. The Giants were stupid offering a 1+1. The Dodgers went out and got him. And you had Dylan Cease, got traded to the Padres. They were stupid. They didn't trade him to a team that could sign him. They didn't extend him. They went out and got him. That was Toronto stupid for paying what they paid with deferrals, and today's money was like, it's $180-something million. You pay a little extra to, get a guy to go to Canada, pay a little extra. That happens. It's kind of a requirement. It's kind of one of those things. You're gonna ask a dude to go to Drakeville. You got to pay the Kendrick tax, right? You got to pay that. So pay a little more, little overpay to get the deal done. Get him to go to Canada, and they got it done. They went out and made some other moves. Now, another thing that I said is they're trying to decide now between Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette. They're trying to literally decide. I don't think it's going to be both. I think it's going to be one or the other. And again, I said that the only way probably that Bo Bichette becomes a Dodger is if Toronto fumbles the bag. If they let him walk like they did Freddie Freeman. And whereas Olsen led to Freddie Freeman coming to the Dodgers, does Williams lead to Diaz coming to the Dodgers? Does Tucker lead to Bo Bichette coming to the Dodgers? Again, the Dodgers are sitting back and waiting and waiting and waiting for other teams to get stupid, for other teams to overthink, to other teams trying to outspend, and they just sit back and they just pick up the pieces. The Dodgers are like that dude. I guess a woman could do this too. The Dodgers are like that dude or that woman that sits back and is just looking at someone in a bad relationship, just checking in with them, staying relevant in their lives, in their circle, staying in eyesight and arm's length, just lurking. So the second that other person's significant other gets out of pocket or messes up or does something, they're like, that's the Dodgers. Knocking on free agents' doors, waiting for them to mess up. And that's where they are. And the Dodgers, you got guys, tail strikes out. This guy can't stay healthy. Glasnow can't stay healthy. You got Snell can't stay healthy. All these guys can't stay healthy. Dudes can't stay healthy. I'm telling you right now, I've heard this from a couple of people now. The Dodgers are perfectly fine with some of these guys missing 40, 50 games a season if they got the depth. They actually prefer it because some of these guys won't sit. The Freddies, the Mookies, a lot of these guys will not want to sit on their own. So if they've got a little nagging injury or a little issue, the Dodgers are like, here we go. We're going to put you out for 20, 30 games, man. So the Dodgers don't even probably want a workhorse. The Dodgers are so away from that. They're so away from that. They're like, look, I think in a Dodgers perfect world, their guys would play 120 games a year, like max, in a perfect world. And so injury concerns or whatever it may be, they find a way to make it work. All you need is them to be there when it matters. And Bo Bichette did get hurt late in the season. The timing was bad in September. He did play and make an impact. Now, he almost had the winning home run in the Game 7 until, Canada couldn't get it done. But Bo Bichette presents a bunch of different kind of issues, right? Lineup-wise, position defensive-wise. But the Dodgers, this isn't just like a Bo Bichette thing. This isn't just a Edwin Diaz thing. This is this could be a domino effect in
multiple different areas. Like I'm telling you, you got Byron Buxton linked. You got Steven Kwan linked. You got Kyle Stowers in Miami linked, right? You got guys that are linked to the Dodgers, and you're going to have that kind of non-captain obvious guy who hasn't really been talked about that could probably pop up because no one thought Conforto was coming last year. And I know it's a bad example of production, but it's a great example of how no one even saw that coming. He wasn't even linked to them, and then bang, they had him. In the midst of the whole Soto and Teoscar situation, Michael Conforto just slid in there. And again, it didn't work out, but it shows you the Dodgers are talking and working with a lot more people than they are linked to. So we could be sitting here after the GM meetings, after the winter meetings, and the Dodgers have Edwin Diaz, a Byron Buxton, a Steven Kwan, a Stowers, a Craig Biggio, Bo Bichette. I said Craig Biggio. No, my bad. Bo Bichette. Like, it's coming now. It's coming. We've had the downtime. We had the heights of winning the World Series and celebrating that and still celebrating that and still going crazy. And now I still feel like 2025, the season, it's just been so glorious and so exciting, and everyone's been celebrating it and just haven't been able to let it go. Haven't been willing to let it go. I did not want to let it go. And I feel like we're now here where we're going to reach a point where the Dodgers are going to go ballistic in the offseason. And I think they're going to get a very, very strong bullpen arm. I think they're going to get another quality outfielder. And I think there's going to be more relievers. And I think there's going to be more moves that people haven't even talked about. And then people are just going to be like, they're back to ruining baseball again. But we're getting closer, y'all. We're getting closer. I could tell because the people I talk to, the people I've been speaking with, they're working a lot more. They're getting a little bit more excited. They're chasing down more things. Things are moving. Conversations are being had. Visits are being made. Trips are being taken. It's getting close to things starting to pop off. And I've been wearing so much 2025 gear that, man, I was like, man, the other day I was like, it's back to back, man. It's back to back. So today I'm rocking my 2024 hat, 2024 championship hoodie. I wore my 2024 stuff over the weekend. Back to back. You got to represent both years. Can't just wear 25. Break out that 24 too. Anyone that's got the 2024 championship merch, break that out as well, because it's back to back. I haven't gone where I've crossed it up yet. I'm kind of weird like that. My OCD kicks in. I can't wear like a 25 sweater with a 24 hat yet. My mind doesn't want to do it. But maybe down the road. But however, on that note, make sure to get your MLB, NBA, NFL gear and more. Make sure to use our link at Fanatics to get special discounts. When you purchase, it helps support the channel. We've partnered with the good people from Fanatics, and when you order through them via us, they take care of us because we sent you their way. So appreciate those who have been ordering already. Seen a lot of orders popping off for the holidays, a lot of championship gear being purchased. Make sure to tap that link, get your championship gear, and go and make sure to check that out. Also, make sure to check out legendsofculture.com. Legendsofculture.com. Search, I see you, brother, in the chat. If you can throw that in there for me, I'd be greatly appreciative. Legendsofculture.com. We have partnered with Drip Show for the Ruining Baseball collection on legendsofculture.com. Use promo code EPTV to get 15% off your first order. So legendsofculture.com. And shout out to everyone who's ordered already. I appreciate y'all. And like I said, it is the Ruining Baseball collection. And Drip Show went ballistic as usual. And make sure to go get that over there. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. I am Empire Jeff. This is EmpireJeffTV. We are talking Los Angeles Dodgers off-season potential moves. And drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Would greatly appreciate you. What is going on here? Okay, there we go. I had one of my screens decide to do something other than what I clicked on it to do. So let me know in the comment section right here, right now, who is your of right now? Obviously, some guys have signed, and I don't really think we've lost a dream target, right? What is your, like, if Andrew Friedman called you right now, was like, yo, tell me right now, with a blank check, who are you signing? And for what? How many years? What's the number? Who's the player? How many years? What's the number? Who is that? Let me know right now in the comment section. What player are you getting if Friedman gives you the choice to make the call? How much? Who? How many years? Let's talk about it. Let's see now. Joseph, what's going on, Joseph? Joe Sorrell, the experiment. I've finally been saying it right, man. What's going on, Joseph? Craig, what's going on, Craig? Appreciate you, man. We got the God moderator. What's going on, Search? Lucky's pet Jeff is on. Lucky is roaming somewhere. I just heard him a few minutes ago. I don't know where he's at right now. My wife's, I think he's in another room. My wife, she's decorating the tree, so he's like supervising. Well, she's continuing to decorate the tree, so he like thinks he's like the boss and he's supervising, so he's kind of checking on that. Pitching or the outfield? Yeah, I hear you. Okay, let me get to where Phoenix Layer 1. What's going on, my guy? Yo, Jeff, love the Christmas intro joke. Yeah, I love that jam, man. I was a little late in getting that in last year, but I'm rocking it the whole holiday season here, man. Oh yeah, shout out to Search. I already put it in the chat. Come on now, I should have known he's the best in the business. What am I thinking? Like I gotta ask Search what to do. Like he's already on it. He's already on it. Elijah, what's going on, man? Appreciate you. Let me say, Ran, what's going on, Ran? When does Murakami have to decide by? Is it coming up right? It was 45 days, I believe, from what he did it. I think he's got to like. Unless I'm tripping, I think it's till sometime in January, isn't it? Isn't it sometime in January, or is it like late December? I got to look up the actual date. Don't care. What's going on? Don't care. What's up, Jeff? Slow off season so far. It's still early. It's the Dodgers. They got Blake Snell on Thanksgiving, which we thought was a little bit early, right? Last year. So this is normal. Some guys don't even sign till like after Christmas. Some go deep into the offseason, right? So baseball is not like the NBA. It takes a little time to get going. That just says, wait, what just happened here? I can't read. I can't read that. I can't read. Diaz is a talented man for sure. Let's see. Okay, I got to stop clicking. Let's see. What's going on, Shando? But yeah, I got to stop Ron Burgundy here and actually reading what I'm putting on the screen here. It's crazy. Let's see. Craig says, pay him short term and defer some money. I don't think he's going to take short term. I don't think so. Everything I've heard that hasn't even really been discussed. I don't know if it's an option. I just haven't heard it come up as one. But we will see. Let's see. He says, Evan says, or Avin, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, brother. Hello, it's my brother, Dylan Doe's birthday, but he goes by Dill. Can you say happy birthday, Dildo? He's trying to get me to say happy birthday, Dill. What is wrong with people, man? What is wrong with people? Dildos and pizza? No. That's it. What's going on? Well played. Oh, man. Let's see. Dill is in pickle, dough is in pizza. I see you. Let's see. Might have to take a shorter deal with the upcoming lockout. Looking well, I don't think he's gonna have to necessarily take a shorter deal. I just think it'll maybe limit the amount of teams willing to really spend big because they don't know what the landscape may look like. Certain teams aren't going to really worry about that. The teams with the dough aren't really going to overly like worry about that. Dodgers want to give up a draft pick with Diaz qualifying offer. I don't think. I mean, they want to, but if you could trade a draft pick to get Diaz, would you do it? If you could trade a prospect that's unproven, you don't know anything to get Diaz, would you do it? And I think they will. So I think they would. So it's the same thing. Give Diaz 2 years, $50 million. I just don't think he's going to take a short-term deal. Maybe he does, Mondo. We'll see. Do you think we keep Roki in the bullpen or put him in rotation? No, I've been telling y'all since the last season. Since the playoffs, he's returning 100% to the rotation next year without a shadow of a doubt. Baltimore with Justin Turner. The Mets actually were actually, I think, worse with Justin Turner. Seattle with Taylor. Yep. Said, why leave chat on if you don't engage with your audience? Good luck in your stream. Bro, come on. I don't think you've been to my stream before. I literally read every comment. I just talked for like 20 minutes, but I'm kind of known as a guy who reads every single comment. So I can tell you haven't been here before. Let's see. Dodgers. What's going on, Dan Inspiration? Dodger is Dr. Pepper. Other teams try to be Mr. but ain't no Dr. Pepper. That's funny. New York Institute of Art with Drip Show. Yeah, Drip Show was incredible, man. Drip Show. Man, that's the thing. I've been rocking with Chris for so many years. I'm so happy that like the rest of the world, like the rest of the like, people out there get to really like see what he can do. Because like been rocking with Chris for like years and seeing some of the stuff you could do. Some of the stuff never even made it out. I've seen that's been insane, right? That's my guy, man. Shout out to Chris, man. Lucky's pet Jeff knows about the Dodgers. Let's see. Bobby Young and World Series tested. Yeah. And I don't. Yeah. So a lot of people are going to talk about his health, but I mean, a lot of guys have that in today's MLB, man. It's just routine at this point. Just routine. So the Dodgers, that's what I'm saying. The Dodgers got like something like almost 90 million. It's like 87 and change coming off the book. So even if the Dodgers just went out and spent what they spent last year with adding zero payroll, they get to add like they get to spend like $90 million what's coming off. So they got like $90 million to play with just to get back to last year's money. Last year's money. And there's other ways to open up even more. So like it's not like they're sitting back here adding like to the payroll. They probably will, but what I'm saying, there's also other moves they can do. So the Dodgers are sitting here with almost $90 million to play with, and they can free up more. And that only gets them to what they were at last year. That's the most insane thing about it, is the amount of money they can do. It's just crazy. Came off the last time. Yeah, it's like it's like 87 and change, but again, they could get to more. Bo Bichette, 6 years, $210 million. I think Bo Bichette's going to get between 180 and 220. And I think that his willingness to come off of shortstop and play another position is going to get him more money and more offers. So I think it's going to be 180 to 220. Is probably where it's going to be. We got Nick here said, "What's up, Big Jeff? Love your content, man. Hey, appreciate it. I love that you love the content, man. And thank you so much. Appreciate you." Get me Diaz and Duran, and I'll be happy. So he's linked to, like I said, the Dodgers are linked to just about everyone. And when this all first started, I really didn't think initially that Diaz was going to be something that the Mets, that they'd let him go. Like, and they still might not. But to me, it was like 20-80 that the Dodgers would get him. Now I'm almost 50-50. I'm almost 50-50, and I feel like I'm leaning Dodgers more each day. He could very well still stay in New York. He could very well go to the Yankees. He could very well go to Toronto. He could very well go to a team that no one sees coming. But like I said, I don't know he's going to get that fifth year from. And if he doesn't get that fifth year from someone, then I think that just makes the Dodger situation much more likely. Jeff, what do you think? Bring back Belly or Seager? Says OLG. If it were me, I would choose Seager over Bellinger. When you think of the money that Bellinger is hoping to get versus what Seager has left on his deal, they're probably the same realm. Seager can play third when Max is done. Seager gives him a little flexibility. He can play short. He can play third. You can move Mookie around, but I don't know how realistic that is. I said, like, when we were talking last year about all the other, like, former Dodgers that could potentially come back, I said the most realistic one I thought would be Seager via trade. It'd be crazy if that happened, but I still think right now that that's probably unlikely. But things are fluid, things are moving. We'll see how it goes. Oh man, that's these dudes, man. What other good relievers are out there besides Edwin Diaz? So there's relievers they can make trades for as well. So it's not just, you got Edwin Diaz out there. So I heard yesterday that they had already met with Suarez. So they're talking to him. I feel like the Mets, if they don't get Diaz, could end up with Suarez as well. I think the Mets are trying to go with the two-headed monster route, but I don't know if they're going to pay what Diaz is asking, which is weird, but I just don't know if they're going to. I don't know if they're going to. So Suarez, you got Diaz. Like I said, there are other guys you could trade for, but the Dodgers are going to get a lot of guys back in the pen that are going to be very, I think Tanner Scott's going to have a great to incredible bounce back year. I really think he is. And he's better as a setup guy anyways. So you get him back, if they bring back Kopech, what does he look like? You're going to have Vesia back. You're going to have guys that were hurt. Evan Phillips is going to be out for a while with his injury. He got basically non-tendered. I still believe the Dodgers will bring him back once he's healthy. I haven't heard anything pushing back on that. So will they? I think so, but nothing's guaranteed. We'll see how his recovery goes. But you're going to have Brewstar back. You're going to have guys. You're going to have Kasperius back there after learning how to be a reliever in that role. He's going to be back there. So you're going to have, Klein had that breakout performance. Can he do that? Kyle Hurt is a name to really keep an eye on, because I think he can have a phenomenal impact next year in the bullpen. Mets fans will be depressed if they lose Edwin. I saw on Why I'm a Mets Fan, they said they would be devastated. They would be devastated, but I'm telling you, those two lovely ladies are bracing themselves for it happening. I can tell you, they are bracing themselves for that to happen. Now, will it happen? Again, I don't know, but I'm just saying, whereas I didn't believe the Dodgers were really in play for him early on, now I'm like,
going to be disappointed if they don't get him. And I don't even know who the favorite is at this point. I saw some reports today that the Dodgers are now the favorite to get him. I don't know if I would go there. I don't know if I'm going to go with the fact that they're the favorite. But I think that each day that passes by, I think that the Dodgers are going to be more and more likely to get Edwin Diaz over the Mets. I think that is going to happen. And if this drags out, that's an excellent indication for the Los Angeles Dodgers. If this doesn't drag out and if it happens, during the prior to the winter meetings, which I don't think it will, then the Mets will have a chance. But the more this drags out, the more the Dodgers have a chance of this being able to happen. Imagine Dodgers did a deal for Kwan and Ramirez. I wonder what it would take, which prospects and players. I think we'll have to start with Sheehan. So if you remember, for those who watch the show, back at the trade deadline, I told you to keep an eye on Cleveland solely on Cleveland. And the Dodgers were looking to get two of the three guys. And with Muncy coming back, they had settled on Kwan in Class A. And then the scandal hit. And it's why the Dodgers really didn't do anything big at the trade deadline, because they were already down the road on that deal. They didn't have a lot of traction with the other moves. When that one fell kind of apart, they kind of just went the route they went. But the Dodgers were very, very serious in trying to acquire Kwan and Class A last year. And the Class A situation kind of threw a wrench into that. Now, could they go back and go for a Steven Kwan and a Ramirez? They could. That's the Dodgers BOGO philosophy, right? Buy one, get one while you can, right? Go get them. Whenever the Dodgers do a big trade, it's always for this and that. So if they go and they get a Steven Kwan, they're going to see what else they can get for Cleveland. They're going to see what else they can get from them. Now, does it mean Ramirez? I don't know. But again, I'm not going to say don't trade for him because you have Muncy, but you have Muncy, right? So these are things you'll have to think of. They have a lot of different things they still could do. I get so many messages every day about Kenley Jansen, like a lot. And I think it's possible, just not as a closer. I don't think the Dodgers are going to be open to bringing him in as their primary ninth inning guy. And I think that he really wants to get those 500 saves. So him coming to be like a setup guy or a bridge guy, I don't know if he's going to want to do that because he's trying to get to that number. But if he's trying to win and trying to retire a Dodger, he just might. So we'll see how this all plays out, who they get. But former Dodgers are, that doesn't always work out, right? It doesn't always work out. I think Kenley is serviceable enough and good enough to be in a playoff team's bullpen. He just wouldn't be one of my final two guys. He's better than some of the guys we had in our bullpen last year, but it would only be if it was like an incredible discount, and he'd have to have a clear understanding that he's not going to be the closer. And I don't know if mentally he's there yet. I don't know if I think it's a great idea, and I think it should happen, him retiring as a Dodger, but I don't think it's going to be when he's in like the first, second, or third option of high leverage relief. Like, ask yourself this right now. Ask yourself this. Would you rather have Kenley Jansen on the hill in a meaningful playoff game or Blake Trinan right now? Who would you rather have? And Blake Trinan, I love Blake Trinan. I really want it to work out. I really want him to have a bounce back year. I gotta see it to believe it though. So Kenley Jansen to me right now is better than Trinan because he's able to pitch and locate and get outs and get swing and miss. But Trinan doesn't seem to know where the ball is going when he's throwing it, nor does the catcher, nor does the hitter. Now, maybe that was just injury related to something he was dealing with all last year, but Trinan is going to be injured. Trinan's going to miss time. And so for me, it kind of comes down to, maybe that's their thought. We'd rather have him than Trinan. So we'll see. Who else pays Diaz 5 for 100? I don't see it right now, unless someone gets desperate, unless someone misses out on everybody, or if the Mets is really like, we're not losing him to the Dodgers,
or the Blue Jays are like, no, we're not losing him to the Dodgers. We're going to overpay. I think those two teams will overpay. I don't believe the Dodgers will. So those teams have to really, really hold the line. They have to really stay disciplined in order to not overpay to get him. Because I don't think the Dodgers are going to go 5 years, 100 mil. I don't think they're going to do it. If his agent comes back to him like, look, 5 years, 100 mil, or he's going to the Dodgers tonight. How do you think the Mets or the Blue Jays respond to that? How do they react to that? They're thinking, look, what's a win share? What's a win share right now? $9 million, right? If the Dodgers are like 4 years, 80, a little over 2 win shares there. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a tough decision. It's a tough decision. If I'm Toronto and I'm the Mets and I'm trying to compete, if I'm Toronto mainly, and my goal is to get back to the World Series, hopefully link up with the Dodgers and beat them. If that's my goal, I'm doing it. 5 years, 100 mil. Rogers got all the money. They were being stingy. If I was Toronto, they did the Cease deal. I'd go get Tucker, even though I don't think Tucker is a superstar. If I'm them, I go get him. I get Diaz and I let Bo walk. If I'm the Blue Jays, that's what I do. Now, will they? I don't know. But again, if his agent calls was like 5 years, 100 mil, or he's going to the Dodgers at 4 years, 20 mil. So Toronto's like $20 million to keep him away from the Dodgers. Maybe. But I don't think we're there yet. So Murakami and the Korean third base guy who played, would you want more and why? Murakami, no, not this. They're not going to get him this year. The other guy is a possibility. I told you the reason why on my last stream people said that they'll trade Kim. Like, they're not going to trade Kim, even though he's not going to start next year. They're not going to trade him because he's their link to Korea. The Dodgers they're already doing it there now. So they had Japan, Korea. That Korean league's going to be coming up, and they're going to have a bunch of a foundation and trenches in there. That's coming. So you can't go, in my opinion, in my estimation, you can't go sign a guy like Kim, bring him over, and then trade him the next year, because the other guys are going to be like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go there. They're just going to dump me after a year. So these things matter. All these things matter. And I don't see them doing it, even though I don't see them starting Kim next year. I think until he learns how to play an outfield position at a good level, I don't see him getting everyday at bats, but I think he'll get more at bats than last year. But I think they did perfect with him last year. They brought him along. They didn't give the league a chance to really adjust to him and destroy him. They kind of kept him balanced and on a high note for the most part. Next year, he'll probably have more struggles. He'll get more at bats. He'll play more innings in the field, and he'll have his struggles. That's going to happen. But it didn't happen last year because they didn't allow really the league to catch up to him, right? Next year, I think they do. And I think he will have stretches where he struggles, and you'll kind of do what we always do. What everyone who doubts, the Dodgers thinking or Dave Roberts thinking, they realize, like, usually later, like, oh, they were right all along and I was wrong, right? They usually prove everyone wrong when you give them the time. And I think, and even in the moment, in real time, I was saying I agree with how they're using Kim, because I know what happens if you make him an everyday guy. Like, I know what happens. They knew too. And they did it. And next year he will get more time, but I still don't think he's going to be a starter. Let's see. Shadi says, Kenley Jensen. Yes, I just touched on that. No former Dodgers, please. They might not, but they might. Overpaying Tanner Scott didn't work out this season. It doesn't matter. It didn't work out last season, but bullpens are volatile. He can come back and have an all-star year next year. He probably will. I still think Tanner Scott's going to be a good pitcher. I still think he is a good pitcher. I think there was something wrong with him all year, and I think next year he'll be all right. I just really do. I really, really do. And that deal was not a bad deal. The Cubs offered more money. It just didn't work out 1 year. So we'll see how it does. We'll see how it does next year. If Texas eats a lot of Seager's contract, maybe, but then you have to move Betts back to right field and Teo to left field. Or you can move Mookie to second. But I don't think that Texas is going to eat a lot of Seager's contract. I don't think they have to eat a lot of it. He's still a very good player, a very good productive player. And I don't see that. That would be kind of my terms with it too. Like, I'm not going to pay the whole deal. If you're trying to salary dump, then you're going to have to pay. But I think it goes down like this. If you want prospects, then you're going to have to eat a lot of that contract, right? But if you're just doing the salary dump, like if you're doing the salary dump, like we're taking all the money. No, I'm sorry. If you're sending us the contract and you're not paying anything, then I'm not giving you much for them. I'm just not giving you much for them because I'm gonna have to pay the whole deal. Now, if you want prospects, like if you're trying to swing a trade, like you're trying to get value for Corey Seager, then you're gonna have to pay that. You're gonna have to pay that. I think you're gonna have two people saying on opposite sides of the street, staring each other down, not agreeing with how to proceed with that. So, like I said, if they're looking to just dump the deal, honestly, I take them. If they're looking to get value for them, if they want a couple of prospects, value prospects, then they've got to pay a good chunk of that, or I won't even consider it. That's just me. He says Diaz is sketchy. Well, I mean, his numbers are pretty legit, man. Festa, what's up, my G? Appreciate you, bro. 60% Dodgers want Cody Bellinger back. A lot of people want Cody Bellinger back. Listen, I like Cody Bellinger, but I think people need to go look at his last couple of years when he was on the Dodgers. He just couldn't hit here anymore. So they're going to have to go back and look at that again. We got Yamamoto. Dude will pitch any game and relieve back-to-back games. Love Yama. I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see that again. That was just one of those. The Dodgers back-to-back season just pulled off something that I'm not sure we'll ever see again. I'm not sure we'll ever see a bullpen go out and win you a World Series, and I'm not sure you're going to see strictly a starting rotation go out and win you a World Series. I think the Dodgers went back-to-back with back-to-back miracle performances, and I think next year it's going to have to be the bats and the defense, man, because they got to give these guys a little bit of a break here. 4 years, 80 sounds, right, front-loaded. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they'll do front-loaded and try to go from there. I think that's going to be the Dodgers' approach there. You could bet Teo on the phone talking to Bo to come. I mean, he probably is, but like I said, I think Bo would prefer to go back to Toronto if all things were equal. I'm not sure he's going to get that equal offer from Toronto is what I'm saying. I don't know if he gets that. Now he might. Toronto may come in and be like, look, we're going to give you 6 years, 220. Like, well, we'll give you that. And he's a Blue Jay. He's a Blue Jay. Like, bang, he's a Blue Jay. Now, if they're like, well, we're waiting on Tucker, and if Tucker's decision is lingering, and they either wait on Tucker and he gets impatient, or they get Tucker. If they get Tucker, I think Bo is out of there. I think Bo is gone. Let's see. We need right-hand power more. I think Teo is going to have a really good bounce back year last year. His injuries didn't just hurt him. Like, his injuries didn't, everyone's talking about defense, but he suffered offensively too, man. I think the injuries just really, I think a lot of Dodgers were just injured last year, man. I bet Shohei texting Skeens and Scoopo. Was it Kim that was racing versus yeah, that's another thing, man. That fall, I remember saying at the time, that fall that Dave Roberts said, the fact is, you know when I started to like realize the Dodgers, I was nervous every pitch of Game 7 and Game 6. Do not get me wrong. I was a hot mess. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna act like I wasn't, because I was a hot mess. But one thing that made me like believe like this team could still do it and they weren't dead and the pulse was still there is when I heard that they were doing Halloween events and trick-or-treating with the kids through the hotel in Toronto, and that fall by Dave Roberts. And it's like, these guys look extremely loose for a team that has all the pressure in the world. Extremely loose, playing extremely free. And when you have the favorite playing free, that's scary to the opponent. And they got it done because of that mindset, because of that culture, because of leadership in that clubhouse and organization. And the Dodger culture, the Dodger clubhouse, the Dodger way, like, I will die on this hill, and I'm not even a die on the hill guy. I will die on this hill. I will 100% give that credit to Dave. That's why they picked him. That's why they have him. That's why his players love him. And he wins. He wins. He wins. There's no ifs, ands, or but about it. He wins. If you say they win in spite of him, he still wins. He still wins, right? So at the end of the day, to a man, to a player, every single person who had a microphone in their face when they won that back-to-back world championship spoke on how much they loved their manager and credited their manager. This echoes what I've been saying for years. So it's that culture, that vibe, those beliefs, the trust, the connection, all of that leads to winning. When you have talent and culture, a lot of teams have one or the other, but they don't have both. It's very hard to have both. Very hard. No baseball related, but what's up with Giannis and the Twitter thing? Maybe he walks to Lakers next year when Lakers get him. I'm barely like paying attention to basketball, barely getting back into it. I saw that today. I don't think the Lakers have much to get it done like right now, to be honest with you. So, but I need to brush up a little bit more. I barely started watching games like a week ago. So I was so like obsessed and buried in baseball. I'm still like not up on things. If you had a choice of Giannis to the Lakers or Joker, who's everyone taking? Joker, 10 times out of 10. It's not even close. Let's see. Blue Jays tossing money like candy. He was a hot mess after Game 5. I witnessed firsthand. He said hot mess. Who you talking about, Keo? Who you talking about after Game 5? Are you talking about C's Game 5? No, C's didn't pitch Game 5 against it. I don't know which one you're talking about. I heard Bishop of LA asked Pope to pray for the Dodgers, and it was Game 6. The prayers answered. Hey, man, I think all of us were praying to whatever baseball gods or whatever it was. Oh, you witnessed me? Oh, yeah. I was Game 5. Was it Game 5? Was it Game 4? No, I think I gave him the pass for Game 4 because Game 3 was like, I feel like they lost Game 4 and Game 3. Yeah, I think Game 5. I have a thing with Game 5s. I don't know what it is. Game 5 is like my pressure point or something. Game 5s. It's always the ones that like the winner of Game 1, the winner of Game 3, the winner of Game 5. Like it's always those odd number games. So yeah, Game 5 was rough. Because that one we kind of knew early. Like, yeah, they're just done in this game. Like the 4 and 5, even 3. The Dodgers, like Game 3, they did everything they could to not win that game, and then they won it. Toronto did everything they could to not win it too. That's why the game was so long. But Game 5, I was like, man, we got to go back to Toronto and win 2. This is not going to be easy. And then they jumped up 3-0. And you, Keo, you and your beliefs in 3-0 leads. I was like, that's it. We're cooked. I heard, let's see. There we go. Yeah, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button to get notified when we go live. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in tonight, man. It's been a long time since I did 2 shows within a week. 2 shows within a week. I've been doing the shorts and the clips and doing all that, man, and just got a lot going on professionally, privately, and haven't had a lot of time to get up here and do an hour and a half stream. Haven't really been able to do that. But shout out to the man, my clippers, man. Not the team. Talking about the video clippers, the video clips, and for the shorts and for the reels and the TikToks. I got like 2-3 days of content just off my last show, just with clips. So it's worked. It's helped. And I'll make some more off of this one too. Makes it a lot easier to create content and push it out there and do the grind and get noticed and get the engagements and shout out to D-Mac, man. Shout out to D-Mac, man. Shout out to D-Mac, man. He shouted me out today on his show. He didn't have to do that. I salute you, brother, man. I appreciate that, man. He's always been someone whose show I watch religiously. In my mind, the Dodger GOAT on the internet, and he's like the Trevor Lane of Dodgers, right? Both those guys, and being able to communicate with both those guys and seek advice from guys like that, and being able to talk with legends in their space and being shouted out by legends in their space is dope. It's dope, man. Like it never gets old. Like it never gets old to be to someone whose work you really like, you really respect, and the grind you really respect, and the professionalism you really respect, and the access they have, and all the ways you know how they built it, you know, got in from the dirt, right? Built this up from scratch. And you know, there's people you know, out there who've built their, you know, following and do their thing, and you know, they'll get subs and views. They don't have the success that these guys like do. Like these guys are like the peak, right? These are the peak. And like the Trevor Lanes, the D-Max, Lakers Nation, Dodger Nation, like very, very, very hard to make it in this space the way they have. And it's not like they got lucky. It's not like they don't deserve it. It's not like they're not great, right? It all just when greatness meets opportunity, and you got the talent, you got all that. It's been great to watch those guys rise, because for years I've watched those guys more than I do like any sports channel, right? Any sports channel. There's not a lot of guys I watch on the internet anymore, because it's gone to a weird place with content creation and coverage and toxicity and all that stuff. So like the professional ones, the ones that who really, really know the game, know the business of the game, and don't just do the same cookie cut show as everyone else. One guy releases an article and 50 people do the same show. They don't do that. And that's what I like about it, man. That's what I like about it. So it is, I like shows you can learn from. They don't take the bait. They don't get in all the craziness with people. They just do content. And I like that. So shout out to D-Mac for shouting me out earlier. Like I said, I greatly, greatly appreciate that. One of my favorites, always has been, always will be. And that was dope. He didn't have to do that, and he did. And I'll tell you this: when you do content creation, there's a lot of people who watch your show that don't support you, don't shout you out, let alone admit that they watch your show. That's big. When someone just says, you know, when someone says something like, "Oh, you know, thanks for this, thanks for that," when you're contributing to the channel, they shout you out. Yeah, that's easy for them to do. That's easy for them to do. But when they actually admit that they watch your show, like that's not a lot of them do that. Not a lot of them do that. So that's what's up. Like I said, I'm probably never. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to put in the time that this requires to take it, you know, to the level that it requires, right? So it's kind of cool to watch other people who have built like what they've built. It's kind of inspiring. Like I said, I wish I could grind like that, man. I wish I could be doing like 2-3 shows a day, or I wish I could, like, this could be it. Like you could just sit here and do this show and talk sports all day and have fun and feel like you're just talking with your boys, sports. And it's, that's what this stuff is supposed to be. You know what I mean? But the internet takes it down a weird path sometimes. You get some weird people. It just gets crazy. Kia says 3-0 Jinx. Yeah, you're always a 3-0 Jinx guy. Thunder versus Warriors on right now. What's the score of that game right now? Drip Show says EmpireJeffTV got clout. I don't got clout. Like I said, for a guy who's a small creator like me, you know, small time creator, to get shouted out by a top dog, that's dope. That's dope. You know what I mean? That's dope. Like I said, a lot of people don't admit they watch your stuff. Like, you know what I mean? So that's dope. Let's see. Backstage Dodger special in the World Series has me so pumped up right now. Yeah, I saw that. What's going on, Aaron? How you doing, brother? I saw that on what did I? Is my recording it or whatever it was? Like, I think I saw it. Maybe it was on my DVR. I saw it. I haven't watched it yet though. David Vassay is going on radar. So David Vassay, the funny thing about David Vassay is, I've been it's like some Vassay stories. So back when Vassay was the producer on the McDonnell Douglas show, like way back in the day, and David Vassay would be like, he would go like Laker practice, he would do these things, and he was like a producer on the show. And when he left and went and started with the Dodgers, he, like, that's another guy who built that up. Like, he built that up. He started off as not being the talent, not being the guy on the radio, not being the guy on the show. He was a behind the scenes guy, and he worked his way up. So that's another guy. no, you got to give props and respect to for what he's done. Let's see. Joe says, "You gonna cry, Jeff?" Nah, I ain't gonna cry. Just ain't nothing wrong with giving appreciation and mutual respect. Not everyone's got to be angry all the time like you, Joseph. Not everyone's got to put their head through a wall. Shrek, relax. Let's see. OKC 120, 112, 1 minute left. Are these dudes ever gonna lose again? My God. You know what's funny? Last year, I really didn't believe in them. I thought they were like one of the weakest championship teams I've ever seen. This year, though, I'm kind of torn. Is the league just that weak, which I kind of think it is, or are they that great, which I don't think they are? You know what I mean? I just don't. But that's for basketball talk, though. He says, "Toughen up." I'm good, man. I'm good. Look, I just am what I am and who I am. I could talk exactly about how I feel, good or bad, and still not be messed with. There's a difference between someone who acts hard and just is loud versus someone who's, like I said, man, my philosophy has always been like 50 said, man. 50 said, well, 50 is one of my favorites, is when he said, and this line still is gold to me. When he says, he said, "Look, I don't want no problems. But if you got a problem, no problem." You know what I mean? That's how you gotta operate. I don't look for it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it is what it is. You know, when people go out of their way to show respect that they didn't have to do, I mean, I appreciate that. Always have, always will. Let's see. Water down league, making them look better. Don't think they win 70 games in 2000 or 2010. Yeah, that's kind of been my point. Travis Rogers did the same with Jim Rome. Yeah. Travis Rogers been around a while. Been around a good while. Jeff, do miss you? Are you trying to say you miss me or I miss someone else? I miss y'all. For sure. But a lot of these like local radio guys, because radio's gone in like a weird way. I don't want to say radio's dead, but radio's kind of dead, you know? Like these guys, even the radio guys, like are all on like YouTube, right? All on YouTube or streaming and all. That's kind of where they are. Because I don't really know many people that listen to the radio anymore. I don't listen to the radio at all. Like I don't listen to sports talk radio at all. Like that used to be my main thing. So radio is the only way radio even kind of still does it is because, you know, like sponsorships or anything like that, or they're online, you know, doing the streaming. But radio for the most part, just on a radio, is pretty much dead. Yeah, it's just not. It's not the same. It's not the same. We have too much access to other things. What are you doing, Serge? Let's see. I'll listen to Dodger games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll listen to Dodger games and Laker games, Dodger pregame, postgame, like that. But that's not like a radio show, because most of the radio talent I just can't listen to anymore. But pregame, postgame, live during the game, yeah, that's pretty much all I do. Been dead ever since radio played 2 minutes of content and 10 minutes of commercials. Yeah, it's been bad. Rick Monday is my guy. Rick Monday is watching Rick Monday on video while everyone reacts to a major moment in the game, and watching his reaction is just craziness. Jim Healy was the best. Search doing sentimental. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see what the Dodgers do. I'm excited to see who they get. I'm excited to cover, you know, talk about who they get or don't get, and go from there as we, you know, get into December and get towards the winter meetings and get closer and closer to catchers and pitchers and catchers reporting, and it's gonna fly by. It's gonna fly by, man. So who's getting traded from the Dodgers? The one guy that I think, more and more I think about it, the more I think that Dalton Rushing might be the guy that goes. Just the more I think about it, let's see. Jeff, come back to the people. I never left from like creating content. I just left from live streaming for a stretch, right? I've been doing the best I can, man. If y'all even knew, if y'all like, if y'all knew like just what this last 6 months, like I told you, shout out to Joe, man. Joe was literally, I believe I taught, maybe I did, maybe I don't know. Like Joe was literally giving me text updates of game one of the NLDS in Philly while I was in a hospital waiting room with not the best internet reception. And he's literally texting me like pitch by pitch, batter by bat updates to get me through the game to know what was going on because I couldn't watch it where I was. And I recorded, I watched it later, but I was getting in the moment because of Joe, man. So shout out to Joe. I was able to give, update my pops, my mom, everybody there while I was doing it because I wasn't watching the game, in an ICU waiting room. I wasn't doing that. But being able to, it's really weird, man, because this Dodger run, the last 2 seasons have come exactly. I know I've talked about this, but it's just it's come at a point where I personally really needed it, and it's why I'm so grateful for it. It's why I'm so grateful for it. There's times where my team has won a championship and everything's going great in my life, and it's great and it's wonderful. But this I needed, man. Like I really needed it, and be able to get that when you look back through it. And I was also telling Joe, I was like, man, I don't even know if I could. I don't know if I could ever just when this gets over, I'm just gonna be relieved. I'm not even gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna enjoy it. This is so brutal. Like this is like the game 3, game 4, game 5. I'm like, this is just brutal. I won't even enjoy it if they win. I'll just feel relieved that they got it done and just okay on to 2026. I was so wrong. I may enjoy this championship more than any championship my city has ever won. I may enjoy this championship more than they ever will win again. Like this one was so important. And I needed it so much in my life right now that it just delivered. The team delivered for the city. And I honestly, I've never seen the city like when you just. Honestly, the social media wasn't around in Kobe Shaq 3P. So this isn't apples to apples here, but just all the footage we've seen of people in their homes with their friends or their families. And granted, it was a game 7 on a Saturday night. Everyone, I just felt everyone. It was like everyone had like a Super Bowl party like event. Like there were just so many people in people's homes. It was a party. Like it was a big thing. And it wasn't just like, obviously when they won in game 5 in New York last year, it was the middle of the week. And like, it wasn't in game 7 and the Dodgers weren't down, but they were down in game 5, but they weren't down in the series. This was just like, oh my God, they came back from 3-2, winning game 6 and 7 on the road. The way they won game 6, the way they came back and won game 7. Like, I don't know if you could have a more glorious championship than what they pulled off. I mean, in 2000, like the Portland comeback, right? You had that. The Ori shot. You had these things that were moments. But it was like this series. It was like each round, that wheel play in Philly, like Yamamoto's performances, Snell's performances in the first 2 rounds. Like there are so many of these moments. And each one of them was like a series changing, clinching moment. And we had so many of those. So many plays people forget. Miggy Rojas alone. Just look at Miggy Rowe. That play he made in game 2 in, was it game 2? Yeah, game 2 in Philly, where he gets to play and runs and dives to third base to get Turner out at third. I think he injured himself in that play because I remember saying like he got up and I don't feel he was 100% healthy the rest of the postseason. And I believe he re-injured himself in game 7 on that play that he had to throw to home. But when you see the plays that Miggy Rowe did by himself, that play at third on Turner, right? The barehanded grab at second base to throw a runner out at first, the scoop on that bounce throw from Kike for the double play to end game 6, the home run in game 7 in the top of the 9th, the fielding play immediately after that in the bottom of the 9th. Like what? like these moments will live forever. New York just came out of me. These moments will live forever. And And they're just these moments when you go back and you watch them, they just don't lose their luster. They don't lose the luster. They don't lose the feeling. You can't tell me you go back and watch that Miggy Rowe home run and you don't just stop. And just, that MF did that. When you see the play that he makes at second base with his body kind of twists, he loses his balance and he throws home. And you're like, oh my God. Each time you see it, it almost appears closer. Like the play appears closer, like each time. The home run in the ninth. Like, obviously, Munchie's home run, I feel like it's slept on because it wasn't like a tying shot or a go-ahead shot. Like the Will Smith one was massive, but you almost come back to the Miggy play first, right? So it's just so many of these moments, man. And that's what makes this championship, the back-to-back. And if they go, this is just me, but if they three-peat in baseball, to me, that's bigger than the Kobe Shaq three-peat to me, because it's in a tougher sport. It's in a sport where it doesn't happen. Back-to-backs happen more in basketball than in baseball. Three-peats just don't happen. Back-to-backs really just don't happen. But to be able to pull this off in today's era, and I understand that baseball doesn't have a salary cap and the NBA does. I get it. But you had Shaq and Kobe. You should have won at least 5, right? So this Dodger team, if they get a three-peat, this is going to be the greatest team of my generation. It is going to be the greatest dynasty of my generation. I will put them up over any dynasty. And like I said, the moments, 2024 had moments too. I'm not going to act like it didn't. But 2024, I felt like we were playing ahead the whole time. And in 2025, we 2-0 on Cincinnati, 3-1 on Philly, 4-0 on Milwaukee. It sounds weird, but those games were still stressful. They were pressure. There were games in both New York that just never felt like we were going to lose. I don't feel like we played a single game this postseason where we didn't feel at least like we were going to lose. There was a point in that game, late in that game, where we thought we were going to lose. Game 1 in Philly, thought we were going to lose. Game 2, it was falling apart. Trinan comes in. A lot of people thought we were going to lose. Game 3, we lost. Game 4, that freak play, everyone thought we were going to lose that game because of the way it was going. 1, right? Then you go into Game 1 in Milwaukee. Again, Snell comes out, Trinan in. Everyone's thinking we lose that game. They win. I feel like there are only 2 games. There are only 2 games I felt we were never going to lose this postseason. That was Game 2 in No. Yeah, Game 2 in Milwaukee with Yoshi. Game 2 in Toronto with Yoshi. That game was close and the Dodgers got separation, but Yoshi was just so nasty. Those were, and I'm not talking about the Cincinnati one because I never felt we were losing any of those games. But outside of that, there's only 2 games in this 2025 postseason that I didn't think we were going to lose. And in 2024, I felt like we were going to win every game. Like it was just a totally different experience. Totally different. Let me get back to your comments. Sorry, guys. I went on another little stroll here. Little stroll here. Let's see. Said Jeff, come back to your roots. What you mean, live streaming? I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Lakers, Dodgers for life. What's going on, my guy? I said I need a friend like Joe that gives me updates. That's a true friend. Yeah, no, he gave me, like, I'm telling you, it was like at bat, like updates, like for real. like I would have not have known what was going on if not for Joe. I enjoyed all the high pressure. I typically do. Like it's I typically enjoy the high pressure games and I never really worry about it or get nervous. And this time I just completely fell apart, man. Enjoying it. That was an epic win. Yeah, that was just crazy. Stop all the Dodger fandom. What? Dodgers finally winning all of them after so much 2010 heartbreaks. Yeah, for real. The World Series was a transcendent series. Been a while since I remember baseball doing that. Yeah, man. It's just been. It was the best season, best series I've ever seen. Won 3 games in Toronto. Yeah. Um. I was at the market sporting my Dodger gear. Dude standing behind me said we was losing 3-0. My heart broke. I told him, don't worry, we will win. And we won. Just worried until the final out. Yeah, man, that must have been great. 1 second, guys. Let's see. Only one road loss all postseason. Yeah, that was just crazy. A team that struggled on the road all year. All year. Yeah, the Mookie double play. The wheel route, man. The wheel route was just the wheel play was just so crazy. Like insanity. But that Mookie double play, he made it look so easy. So easy. That was not difficult. That was not an easy play. That was a very difficult play. Dodgers have won 2 World Series, winning 4 playoff series. No one has done that once. Yeah, that's crazy. The Padres series was stressed. Oh, the King Cash. The Padres series in 2024 damn near broke me. Damn near broke me. That was probably I was probably more of a game 5. I was pretty much a mess this year, but game 3, Joe has this thing. He says that it's not until I get to that point till the Dodgers turn it around. He says I have to be damn near broken. That every time I get to that point, the Dodgers snap out of it, come back and do it. Maybe he's right, but both times that happened. But it was that one was very stressful indeed. Very stressful. And it's scary for the most part. For the most part, that was a very stressful that game 2 against even game 1 when I was at even game 1 I was at game 1 against the Padres. Shohei hit that bomb, and like the Padres were scoring on Yamamoto that game. Like they were running up to score a little bit. I think Yamamoto gave about 5 in that game, and then they come back and they get blown out in game 2. They fell apart in game 3. They tried to come back with that Teoscar grand slam, just couldn't get over the hump, and then they just took off from there. Let's see. 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, I apologize. For that. Let's see. Eddie says the Dodgers already blew it by not signing Helsley or especially Williams. Now they just have crappy, more expensive alternatives. So you would rather you'd rather have Williams or Helsley than Diaz? You would? You would? Do you think those guys are better than Diaz or just cost less money? Because if you're just talking about money, then yeah, they let the guys go who would cost less. But if they end up with Diaz, who's the better reliever, they end up with a better player. So for me, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Man, I sneezed like before the show, and I feel like my nose has been like driving me nuts ever since. What? Okay. Someone who says the Dodgers don't need a bullpen. I'm intrigued by that. I need you to explain yourself a little bit more because that's a little. We need hitters. The hitting did struggle in the playoffs last year, yes, but offensively throughout the year they were pretty solid. To be down big and have to hit a grand slam, give me hope that they still lose almost drove me crazy. Yeah, no, I hear you. Let's see. Giovanni, what's going on, Giovanni? What's up, Empire Jeff? The Dodgers not to go all in on free agency, and the Lakers need to get better in a trade deadline and hopefully win the 2026 NBA championship and Dodgers repeat. That's what we're hoping for, man. We got 7 platers. You mean pitchers coming back from the IL this year and all bullpen?
Just because the guys come back doesn't mean all are going to be healthy or all ready. So, or all effective a year after surgery. So we got to keep that in mind. If the Dodgers find a right-handed closer and Tanner Scott comes back to form as a lefty, Dodgers will three-peat. Oh, absolutely. King Cash says the hitters will, but yeah, I think the hitters will bounce back too. I think so too. I think they're all fine. Like I mean, I think the hitters are going to be okay. I think they need to get a little bit more youth in there for sure. But I still think sorry guys. I still think that the Dodger bats, I think some guys will, I think Mookie's not going to have a season like he did last year where he had some weird condition early on, lose 25 pounds and have just freakish injuries throughout the whole season. I think a lot of those guys will bounce back. I think they'll play less games, but not necessarily all because of injuries. Yankees won 27 World Series with hitters. Think about it. You hit, you win. Well, yeah, if you slug in today's game, you win. You got to slug to win. And the Dodgers won a World Series with slug. Like they hit 3 straight home runs to win game 7. I mean, you got to slug. So the people thinking of averages anymore, that's just not how you win baseball games. Guys who hit for average is cool, but it's not even one of the top important things. You got to slug. You got to have the on-base percentage. You've got to be able to have power and pop. You got to be able to slug if you want to win in today's game. That's point blank period. Can't wait for LeBron not to be on the Lakers. Yeah, it's been a Bron had himself a rough one last night. For sure. He's 40-something years old, man. Like 40 years old. Like, but he's making 50. He's making 50 mil. So there's this thing where, yes, he's old, but he's also getting paid like a superstar. So it's a weird situation, man. King Cash says, would you tell Teoscar his defense and swing discipline is horrible, but he comes up big when you need him? No, I wouldn't. Because again, he's part of the team, he's part of the culture, he's part of what makes the Dodgers special. And I do believe that he was injured all last year. I think we'll get more 2024 tail than we got 2025 tail in 2026. That's just what I believe. Dodgers won't travel overseas in 2026. Do they? It's a good question. I feel like I should know this, but I don't think that they do, because the what you call it is coming. What is it? There you go. Yeah, World Baseball Classic. Thank you, Aaron. That's that not popping my head. That's going to come in. So that's going to take. I think that's going to take place of that. So no, they're not going to. And the Dodgers are doing like, the Dodgers are very, very what's the word? Concerned with how Japan is going to use their Japanese players. And they're trying to get with like Team Japan and try to work something out with 2 of them. Cause like, this is like, you're going to have guys performing at levels earlier than usual, right? So it's spring training time. Guys don't really ramp it up that crazy, and they're going to have to do that a little earlier. So the Dodgers are worried, like we're going for a 3-peat here. Like we need our guys, like Shohei's, this will be his first full year pitching for a while. So they're trying to navigate all that. Donovan from Cardinals to the Dodgers. Wait for half season and see who is back healthy in the bullpen, then get it. That's a guy that could definitely be traded for. Teo and Edmund came out like gangbusters in the first month of the year. The injuries took them out all year. Yep. They were both putting up MVP numbers out the gate. How are you feeling about Roki as a starter? He probably needs to add a pitch. He will, and I feel great. I think he's going to be a phenomenal starting pitcher. I think he'll be great. Yeah, I still think he's going to be a star. People forget, man. He's 23 years old. He came over. He came over a lot earlier than any other of these Japanese players do. He wanted that challenge. He took the challenge, and he knew there was going to be struggles. He knew he could potentially go to the minors. He did what a lot of these other guys didn't do. Like, he didn't come literally here for the money. He came here just to be in the major leagues and pitch against the best. It's gonna take him a little bit of time. He was the NLDS MVP in his rookie year, still finding his way out of the bullpen. Right? It was just crazy. You say you need a new wallet? It's a good time to plug that code 118. There you go, Search. There's a link. Tap that. Where's mine? Do I have it on me? Well, of course not. I'm home. My wife has my wallet. Make a great product, man. Friend of the show too. Fan of the show too. They're local. Great product. Code 118 wallets, really good quality at affordable price, even better with my link. If you're looking to get as a gift for someone or get something for yourself, it's a minimalistic everyday carry wallet with expansion packs. And I wish I could show you right now. I don't have it on me, but really good quality wallet. Get away from that. Your dad's or grandfather's wallet, like the trifold that looks like a little Bible in your pocket. Nothing wrong with a Bible, but no one wants that in their pocket. Very minimalistic, very small. It's got a trigger on it to pull the cards out. It's a dope wallet, man. Make sure to go cop Code 118 wallets. Let's see. One of the Dodger Ridge wallets. How dare you, Joe? It's him. I'm glad they fixed Roki velocity. That had me worried at the beginning of the season. So I checked in on that, and I was like, when am I inquisitive? When my mind starts going a certain way, and I asked someone specifically. I was like, look, the homework that Roki's agent gave teams were like, why did my velocity drop in Japan, and what can you do to fix it? And I believe the Dodgers held him back most of the year velocity-wise, had him work on his location, his targeting, his control. And then once he started hitting it consistently, got some confidence, they ramped him up, let it fly, put him in the pen, got him used to that. He dominated, and they brought him back. So it happened kind of a couple of times where his velocity, he couldn't throw with velocity and location. So they dropped his velocity. You don't just jump 4 to 5 miles an hour overnight. That just doesn't happen unless you're being held back. So they treated essentially his whole minor league career last year, his whole minor league year, they treated it almost like a rehab start. No real scouting, no real preparation other than just working on your stuff. If they hit it, they hit it. They don't, they don't. Work on your mechanics, work on your command, work on your location. Once you have all that right, you can even see the way his leg and his body was from when he was first on the Dodgers at the beginning of the year to when he went down to the minors, when he came back up. The way his leg was planting when he was pitching was different. So mechanically, they switched a lot of things. And once he felt comfortable, he was locating, he was getting the pitch where he wanted to. He had command, he had control. He was pitching, he wasn't throwing. And then they said, let it go. They said, let it rip. And he did. And ended up back to what, the potential what they saw it was, throwing pitches from the devil. and dude just couldn't hit him. People forget Roki was healthy and still not confident. Throwing during the rehab to see how he finished was encouraging. Yeah. Roki is still going to be a stud, I believe. That's just my belief. That's just what I think. I'm just a guy on a couch that watches sports, but I think he has a chance to be really, really great. And we got 5 more years of him, I believe, until he has to get paid. So that makes it even greater. The fact that he took that sacrifice for the team is just another guy giving back, another perfect storm. No one had a problem when Steph Curry's injury led to a perfect storm for the Warriors, right? Like, well, I take that back. People had a problem with Kevin Durant choosing to go there, but that only happened because of the perfect storm. And now the Dodgers are taking advantage of a perfect storm, a Japanese perfect storm of Ohtani, which that move allowed them to get someone like Yamamoto, and having both of them there was the bridge to Roki. And the Dodgers are once again ahead of everyone else simply because they're smarter than them. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. You could be anywhere in the world, but you here with me. I appreciate that. Make sure to drop a like on the way out if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. If you're watching the replay, let me know what you think in the comment section. Shout out to everyone on YouTube, everyone on Twitter X, everyone on the testing platform that I've been working on the last couple streams. And thank you guys. I don't pull up as often as I should, but when I do, you guys show up. So I thank you for the loyalty. I thank you for holding it down. I thank you guys for always coming around, even though I'm not out here every night like your favorite content creators. I appreciate y'all. And make sure to follow me on all socials, IG, TikTok, Twitter X, YouTube, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, everywhere. Empire Jeff TV. On that note, y'all stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Maybe I'll catch you tomorrow. Maybe I won't. I'm going to try. And love y'all. Search. Appreciate you as always, brother. Everyone have a good night as always. Let's go Lakers. Let's go Dodgers. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.